So how are you? How are you? Welcome. So I would like to pretty much open it English at work. We were debating about the name, the theme of this webinar. And we said, okay, we select business English, not exactly. So since the approach is for people who are in the United States or the United States, or in a way, they are working remote or in their own countries, they are practicing, they need their English. So not necessarily in business, in any type of activity. So we decided to really call these webinar, these four workshops, English at work. So we will be incorporating a little bit of grammar, a little bit of listening and speaking, vocab, essential vocab, and first of all, listening comprehension, okay? And of course, the application of your language skills in English. So, Andrea, it would be nice if you introduce yourself a little bit. At least I know this is a small group so far. So I normally, I'm flexible with the materials, the presentation itself, how much Spanish, how much English I may not incorporate based on the group audience. So it will be great if you just tell me a little bit and I will have an idea. So Andrea, would you please introduce yourself tonight?
Okay, in English? Hello.
Yes, in English. Yes, in English. By the way, let me tell you, I'm Dr. Pizarro. I am the founder and director of Elite Language Academy. This is a hybrid language school. We began presenting the English program as a second language, regular English program, and then academic English. And now we're also welcoming Spanish learners, Spanish students. So, and this intention is to tell you a little bit more about our institution and at the same time contributing with the participants, learning and expanding more their language skills, plus some business tips and work and language that you may be using work, So Andrea, please tell me about you. Yes, in English, en inglés, por favor. Gracias.
Okay, I am from Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 34 years old. I am a dentist. What else? I have around 10 years in dental practice
Mm-hmm.
in my country.
Yes.
I have a daughter. She's 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I spend time with my family
Yes, that's great.
in my free time. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In this moment, I want to improve my English skills because I want to have and apply different jobs, and in these jobs I need to have um, how do you
More
say
skills, more fluency,
more
more fluency.
more level of English. Yes.
Of course, more confidence, fluency, but I can tell that you've been studying English for a while. Your grammar is pretty well. So I think that, we have the academic English program, and of course I will be using the dashboard that I use for the academic English, which is more to students who, like you, Andrea, have been working in their English, and you need to improve specific areas toward your academics profession. TOEFL prep, college essay, public speaking is related in there. But so thank you. Thank you so much. That gives me an idea of what to incorporate for the class, and of course to meet you and know you more. Okay, so thank you.
Okay.
What about Francesco Carvajal? Please tell me. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Hey, I'm okay. Thank you.
Where's
Thanks
your
for asking.
location? Are you also in Colombia? Are you in Miami? Where are you?
No, I'm actually in Colombia.
Mhm.
I just saw this webinar in the media and the social media, and I was interested because I'm studying accounting. So
Mhm.
I thought it was a good option to, to take this, let's say, grammar and all this experience with you.
Oh, yes. Yes, Francesco. That was a great call, great decision, exposure, especially that you are in a country that is true. A lot of people, there, and like in most Latin American countries, it's a requirement to speak a language or learn a second language. But of course, in your case, since you've been studying it, why not taking the chance to practice and be exposed more? So great. So thank you, Francesco. Nice to meet you. Welcome. So hopefully you have fun. Okay. All right. One more. Okay, Andrea, Daniel. Okay, what about Stephanie? What about you? Please tell me. Hello. Okay, she's not there. Anyways, what about V2V 2027? Hello. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. When you have a chance, it will be great. And then, of course, I will start. I will be sharing my screen. I will be pretty much expanding a little bit more about this this time with you. All right. Are you ready, Stephanie? Yes. Okay, I have a question. At this point, I don't know. I think the participants, give me a minute. Okay, wait. Just think about this question to open, as a brainstorming and opening this session. In your experience, what is being the challenging option, phase, learning English, being in your own countries? More grammar, more listening. What do you think is a challenge? Is in a way is hard, not hard but challenging, in a way. So that
Hi, do you hear me?
Hello, Stephanie.
Hello. My name is Stephanie. Can you hear me?
Yes, pretty
Yes,
well.
perfect. Nice to meet you. My name is Stephanie. I am 29 years old. I am graphic designer and I want to learn English, but more polite, more like business English, because I am working right now with editorials publishing in Seattle and England and Germany. And I want to improve my English, my speaking, my hearing.
Of
I
course.
don't know.
Of course, yeah. Yes. And I said, this time is pretty much to give you an overview, all right, to do as much as we can during the session. And of course, presenting options that Elite Language Academy, ELA, as we normally call it, present, to improve specific venues in the language acquisition, learning, English. So happy to, to share this adventure with you. So let's start. Let me share my screen at this moment. All right. All right. So pretty much, as I introduce myself, I am the head of the program Elite Language Academy. And I'm sure that you ended up in this webinar following in one of the social medias that we, presented and advertised it. Pretty much, this is a whole combination and give you an understanding of the core of our program, the business English, the academic English that we offer, and at the same time, the basic, intermediate, advanced program that we offer. All our classes are hybrid, blended. So in a way, students have control over their own learning, creating their virtual space, and at the same time, having a teacher and instructor, certified American instructor, to guide the process. At least all our students see their instructor once a week to reinforce, to maybe reteach, review the lessons that they've been covering of their own. So pretty much, this webinar will give you the experience of a Zoom lesson, but at the same time, we're also offering face-to-face sessions for the students who are here in South Florida, especially in Weston or in the areas. All right. So this is a very interactive session. Pretty much our mission is to really make our students successful and take them to where they want to be and reach, having and overcoming the gap of the English language barrier. That in some occasions people are abroad, not in US, or if they are in the United States, they have had difficulties absorbing and practicing English, but at the same time they have the abilities to listen, understand, but sometimes it's hard for them to speak or to write professionally adequately. All right, so pretty much we highlight our mission to exist, to be aware of our needs and our strategic plan, learning the language, strive, finding, presenting new ways to do it, and of course, being great facilitators to inspire you to keep moving, to keep going, to keep self-directing where you want to be, where you want to get, So just to let you know quickly, all the courses at ELA are hybrid. As soon as you take, the course in 8 weeks, 2 months, or 12 weeks, 3 months, you get a certificate of completion. We make sure that you complete your language lab that is already incorporated in your e-course. The teacher who is assigned to you, to the small group or just yourself, an individual class, will make sure that you complete at least 75% to your ELA's work practice, online work, and tests, quizzes, and an artifact to prove your proficiency level based on your level on the course that you are taking. It's not that you just take it for granted and it's just completion. It's pretty much we make sure that you are assimilating each course perfectly well, in grammar, reading, listening, and writing. And of course, the services pretty much, at elitelanguageacademy.org, you will be expanding and watching more media videos of each program. But as I said, the academic English is for professionals, dentists, designers, business people in general, doctors, or students who just finished high school and are planning to come to the United States to study a career, a bachelor's degree, or a master's, or a PhD. Here we are. In colleges and universities, we call them English for academic purposes. At Elite Language Academy, we call them the Academic English Program, which is pretty much that. The accelerated program is the basic, intermediate, advanced that you can find in your own countries and all over the world. The TOEFL prep, and we have the international US high school that you can earn an American high school diploma taking English classes through Elite Language Academy. And when you are ready, when you reach that English level, you start taking regular English course, high school American level to get, a high school diploma. That is more directed maybe for your kids, your friends, students who are in the 11 from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th grade, that pretty much. So you can get more information with our assistants, but here we are, this is the platform. For tonight, I am using Pearson, my English lab, that really covers my business partner, which is pretty much the materials that we use for our business English courses. But at the same time, we always have a partnership with Cambridge University, and I use, and my teachers use, the platform of Cambridge to facilitate the English levels from 1 to 6, which is the basic, intermediate, advanced. So happy with the adventure. So let's start. Pretty much these are useful tips. Let me see. I don't know what happened. All right. So anyways, let me just click that. We won't need that anymore. And I will start moving that. Mhm. Okay. Okay, if this is the section that, is really calling me. Mhm. All right. Okay, I want to start with, I understand, based on my experience, most students nowadays are visual learners. So, and of course, it's the way the life is taking us, all about videos, and all about scripts, dialogues, listening. And in a way, it's a great experience. So I pretty much designed today's class based on your voices and presentation. And of course, the list and report that we got from our assistants. Let's practice more listening and speaking and comprehension, incorporating vocabulary that it will be useful at work, even if you are in the business world, if you have a particular profession, there are formal and informal ways to approach to your co-workers, colleagues, and so forth. And of course, patients. All right. So at the okay, so I want to start. I want to do 2 or 3, hopefully 2, ideally. 3, it will be a bonus. But the first one that I will do is just the easy one, the first one of the first units of the course. What I'm using is Business Partner, which is our academic English platform with Elite Language Academy, together with Pearson and my English Lab. And the level that I'm using is intermediate. So B1, so the content, it will be pretty much based on an early intermediate student, advanced, or a little below. It's about that, it holds that umbrella of English levels. So let's start, with the first one. I can always use the script. Okay, so
the 21st century workplace is constantly changing. In many countries, the idea of a career for life is long gone. What employers want are skills that can be applied to a range of tasks and roles. As a result, they look for flexible people who can demonstrate transferable professional skills as well as personal qualities that will benefit the company. Here's an insider's guide to the skills and qualities that will get you hired and also help you survive in today's job market. A large part of the academic experience is based around individual performance. In business, however, things are quite different. You need to develop a range of transferable skills. And one thing that many recruiters put at the top of their list is the ability to work in teams.
I would look at, can this candidate fit into the team well? Do they work well with people? Are they passionate about the topic? Box.
Employers value team working skills very highly indeed. So if you're studying, it's really important you try and get some experience. Now, obviously an internship's an ideal way to do this, but you can also do it through part-time jobs, through vacation work, through voluntary work, or helping with societies and clubs while you're at university.
Your experience at school is really, really important. So if you played in a team, guess what? You're a team player. You set goals you can achieve.
21st century careers involve a lot of movement, not just between jobs, but also between industries and countries. It's no good if your skill set locks you into one industry or even into one company. And this is where flexibility is important.
Be prepared to develop attributes that are transferable across sectors so you can make the best moves for your career. I'm talking about things like critical thinking, which means analysing information very carefully, communication skills, problem solving, being able to influence people. Make sure you work on your communication skills in person, on paper, face-to-face, in small groups, in large groups. You'll need to do this wherever you work, whatever job it is, across all sectors. Communication skills are absolutely key. Employers are not just hiring a package of skills, they're hiring a person, and it's personal qualities that are of key importance. Honesty, flexibility, enthusiasm. These things matter a lot.
Be passionate. If you're really going to apply to a company that you're interested in, make sure your passion comes through and be genuine and authentic about that passion. You're going to work hard, you're going to play hard, but you have to be passionate to be successful.
It's their own determination that's going to get them a job, right? Employers, are going to look at them not necessarily for their skills that they may have, but for the passion they may, express.
Convince them that you have integrity. Integrity is very important, obviously, and convince them that you have ability, that you will do everything you can to make that job work.
If you are motivated and have a can-do attitude, you will get wherever you want.
So to sum up our insider's guide, you need professional skills that can transfer from one job to another, especially the ability to be a good team player. Don't forget,
I want to rewind a little bit because I want to ask you some questions. So really pay
you
attention.
personally.
I want to just go back to the preview. All right. And then
Couple
I will
skills.
stop and make some questions. It's pretty much, feel free, please, to take notes. You're having a preview of an insider's guide to getting a job, be successful, and so forth. So the first experience, the first exposure, the first activity that I just did with you is just to have a general overview of what is this going to be about. It's like handing the information. That's the technique. It's like when you have an article, just an insight, email. So you just read it quickly. So you just get most of it. At this time, all right, you have a better idea what the video, this material, was going to be about. Your job at this time, honestly, is to take a piece of paper, all right? So let's be productive, all right? I'm your facilitator, but you are the learner. And this session is pretty much, I'm using our vehicle, of course, is my English Lab platform, using this material by Mrs. Partner. I am your facilitator, but you are the one who's actually learning and doing the learning. You're pretty much taking notes. It's great. It's a great call. Remember that you're not transcribing the information. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible for you to write the whole script. All right. So I really ask you to take a piece of paper, please, or if you are very technological, maybe you have your tablet. Your phone could be useful under notes, whatever it works for you. Traditional pencil and piece of paper is always wonderful. Take your notes, all right? And at the same time, pay attention to the qualities and sites, tips, recommendations that participants, that speakers are giving to you by sections. Remember, everything is by categories under the guidelines to get a job, So first they are covering the skills. Progressively, they are covering specific components, all right, for this activity. So I will be asking questions, okay, based off just a global understanding, some particular details. I'll go to some details of this activity. Okay?
a large part of the academic experience is based around individual performance. In business, however, things are quite different. You need to develop a range of transferable skills. And one
I'm gonna go back because there are two new ones, and I really want you to, please, when you take notes, another skill that you have to pretty much pay attention is writing keywords, all right? Keywords.
A large part of the academic experience is based around individual performance.
Okay, so if I were you, actually, if I was, a participant like you, one of the first words that I will say is an individual performance, performance, the way you behave, the way you act, comportamiento, desenvolvimiento.
In business, however, things are quite different.
Mhm.
You need to develop a range of transferable skills.
Transferable skills, transferable. So your job is to actually make sense of the word transferable. What do they mean of transferable? The meaning of transferable is developed on this video. So just pay attention.
And one thing that many recruiters put at the top of their list is the ability to work in teams.
I would look at, can this candidate fit into the team well? Do they work well with people? Are they passionate about the topic? Do they think outside of the box?
The employers value team working skills very highly indeed. So if you're studying, it's really important you try and get some experience. Now, obviously an internship's an ideal way to do this, but you can also do it through part-time jobs, through vacation work, through voluntary work, or helping with societies and clubs while you're at university.
Your experience at school is really, really important. So if you played in a team, guess what? You're a team player. You set goals you can achieve.
21st century careers involve a lot of movement, not just between jobs, but also between industries and countries. It's no good if your skill set locks you into one industry or even into one company. And this is where flexibility is important.
Be prepared to develop attributes that are transferable across sectors. Make the best moves for your career. I'm talking about things like critical thinking, which means analyzing information very carefully, communication skills, problem solving, being able to influence people. Make sure you work on your communication skills in person, on paper, face-to-face, in small groups, in large groups. You'll need to do this wherever you work, whatever job it is, across all sectors. Communications are absolutely key. Just hiring a package of skills, they're hiring a person, and it's personal qualities that are of key importance. Honesty, flexibility, enthusiasm. These things matter a lot.
Be passionate. If you're really going to apply to a company that you're interested in, make sure your passion comes through and be genuine and authentic about that passion. You're going to work hard, you're going to play hard, but you have to be passionate to be successful.
It's their own determination that's going to get them a job, right? Employers, are going to look at them not necessarily for their skills that they may have, but for the passion that they may, express.
Convince them that you have integrity. Integrity is very important, obviously, and convince them that you have ability, that you will do everything you can to make that job work.
If you are motivated and have a can-do attitude, you will get wherever you want.
So to sum up our insider's guide, you need professional skills that can transfer.
So just to help you out, the speaker, the leader, of this activity is telling you pretty much an overview and is wrapping up. So it's pretty much, if you got late to this seminar, if it's your case, if you just got in, or if you got lost a little bit, taking your notes, remember that a good speaker, all right, has a great intro, like writing an essay, all right, or doing a great speech or a good demonstration. It's a good introduction. Then you have the body. The body in this case is the content, all the elements that you have been incorporating or is being shown at this time. And finally is the conclusion, is the restatement. It's pretty much telling, saying, presenting to the audience, all right, to the readers, if that's the case, what it was developed, what it was mentioned before, and paraphrasing, saying it in a different way, and of course, in most cases, presenting a personal touch. So in this case, at this point, you already have that what they meant by saying transferable skills. First one is critical thinking. So in this case, it's wrapping up. It's pretty much going over what is being said before in a different way, all right, in a more objective way. So good luck. Continue doing the activity.
From one job to another, especially the ability to be a good team player. Don't forget that employers look at the person behind the CV or resume to identify the personal qualities they value in the workplace.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just stop and then I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. All right, and it's time for asking questions and getting more into your feedback. All right, that's the best part of the activity. There's no activity, there's no assessment, there's no review, there's no highlighting of the vocab that is being used, the expressions that is being, they're being used, the content, the comprehension and the main purpose of doing this assignment. All right, so remember, for this practice, we are doing language objectives because, of course, the main tool is the English language, in your case, your second language or third language. And we have content objective. Content objective, yeah, because it's related about, a specific subject area, in this case, business work, qualities applying for a job or developing as a professional. All right, so it's not just a simple video that you may watch on Netflix. This is a very activity, it's a listening, it's a video activity with an academic English purpose, teaching purpose. So let's start. I want to just apply some scaffolding. I'm giving you some guidelines, right, to answer these questions. All right, number one, question one in general. What is this activity? What is this video about? That's a general question. Any volunteer? If there is a volunteer, please raise your hand. All right. If I don't see any hands, of course, I'll call you. You'll be a victim, but you need to participate. I encourage you to participate. Don't be afraid. So who will be? Maris Leslie, are you a volunteer?
Yes, I want to be part of the class of the lesson.
Okay, you are. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hopefully you were part of the activity now. What do you remember?
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
What did you watch? What do you remember? What can you tell me? I will start asking general questions and then I will go to more specific. And in reading comprehension or in listening comprehension, we call recalling ideas or going into detail. All right. But in this case, it's general. It's more broad questions. What do you remember about the video activity? The images, the expression. What can you tell me, Maris Leslie?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. I think you're talking about previous lesson that I missed.
Did you have a chance to watch part of the video that I was showing?
No, I was working. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. All right. Anyways, who can do it? Okay, Maria Herrera. Yes, thank you. And then Francesco. So let's start ladies first, Francesco. Okay, let's let Maria say it. Okay, Maria.
Thank you. Well, I remember we watched a video about getting into a new job or looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
And some skills we need to identify in the job we were looking for.
Correct, some skills. Now, just as a general perception and being a great observer and watcher, all right, you describe the speakers, their nationality. What is your perception? Were they from Latin America, maybe? US? I don't know. What was your impression of the speakers in this activity?
Well, I think they are North American people and not Latin American. I didn't find like an accent from here, but maybe.
All right. In addition to that, what about the ages? Were they young? Were they about the age? What about their physical appearances? Just a general idea, just a description.
Most of them, I think they are young people, like in their 20s, 30s.
Okay, now at this point, yes. All right. Okay, and what about the setting? When we say setting, we mean a place and time. Time we cannot tell. For sure is during work days from maybe 8 to 5, 9 to 5, right?
Una clase de
Now, what
inglés.
about the location? Where is this video? Where did it place?
Una clase de inglés.
Well, I noticed that like as a university, but I'm really not sure about it because
Okay.
sometimes kind of university looks like college too.
Okay, all right, good point. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Maria. Let's let Francesco, who also raised his hand. Thank you for your participation, Francesco. So tell me just the general impression. What do you remember about the video? If you
Well-
need to add more, as Maria said.
Well, it was actually a good video. I liked it because sometimes I try to get a job.
¿La qué?
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. It was noisy.
Yeah, because I actually liked it because sometimes I'm trying to get a job or whatever, and I'm scared a bit because of the experience, because I don't have the experience. But I liked it because they were highlighting this passion, let's say. You have to be passionate, and you don't actually have to have the qualities for this, but because of the passion to get this experience, because you gain another qualities, another abilities, skills that you actually didn't have it before. So I like this, and also the different points of view of many people from different ages that actually helps a lot to reinstate it. And yeah, I mean, the overall video is good. I think the transferable skills mention it. I think that's what they meant about this. The microphone
Okay,
is off.
excuse me for interrupting, what was your comprehension? How can you define the word transferable skills? It was very repetitive. It was mentioned at the beginning, then all over pretty much transferable skills. What do you think? What was your understanding of that term?
Well, I
Comes
don't
from
know.
transfer to transfer,
Yeah, I'm actually like overthinking or whatever. I would say that you can develop abilities or skills that you actually didn't have before. So getting the job, you get transferred these abilities to you. That's what I thought about it. I don't know what you say about it.
Very good, very good. Let me give you a nice, yes, great. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Francesco.
That's all right.
Victor, yes. What else can you say? Victor, you were raising your hand.
Hello.
Yes, hello, welcome. So what do you remember about this video activity? Now that you are also, I understand that you are in the business area, and they're really emphasizing pretty much skills that you develop. So what is your insight? What is your understanding of this video activity regarding business at work?
Yes. Before I answer your questions, I think Francesco gave us a nice definition of transferable. I just want to understand this term, but I think this is like transfer abilities for still creating the community of the job. I think it's something like that. And in the video we saw before, I think is like some kind of adult people. I don't know if it's called elderly.
Adult.
Of
not
adult.
Elderly, much.
A couple of two, I think. A couple of, with a role of manager, I think, saying what's the description of the people they want to hire or they want to manage. Of these big companies. I don't know if this can happen in another space like a small and medium business or my own business. There's another type of values, no, or skills. They call skills and I think people values. No, I don't remember what they say. Personal qualities. Yes, personal qualities.
Personal skills, and one of them, one is genuine. What is your understanding of genuine? They highlight the word, the keyword genuine under personal skills. They also said passionate, okay, it comes from passion. But I just want to develop with you because I see you inspire and you can get the most of it. Genuine. What is your understanding of genuine, or how can you define it? You can give me an example or recall.
It's like it's not easy to.
I know, but just give me an example.
Yes,
I know.
genuine is like you.
Remember that I'm your facilitator. If I need to ask you questions based on
Yes, I understand.
Right.
It's like you without I don't know how this word can be, is you without faking, no, you real values of you with I think positive values, like honesty, flexibility, integrity, but you saying that truly, something like that.
You actually mean.
What do you mean? What you are.
Correct. In English, we always say it what you mean. It's like pretty much if you don't know something, it's like, sorry, can you please repeat? Tell me again. I didn't. By honesty, that's also involved in genuine. It's not really pretending.
Honest.
Not
pretending. That's the word.
Not pretending to be someone that maybe you believe that they could accept more. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now I need another. Who can thank you, Victor? Who else can add to this discussion?
I don't know.
Who else? Who else can say something? All right. So I'm gonna ask questions now. And please, now it's gonna be no more general. No more general, because I was also taking notes like you. I was also an active learner. And this is pretty much one of the basics and philosophy of ELA, Feliz Language Academy. It's not just, I just had, an orientation this morning. And of course, the intention was, of course, learning English, but at the same time is also teaching a person about technology, teaching a person about the idea of being to persevere, to follow what your objective, your goals, your dreams. But it's not just wishing too, it's also doing, having a plan. What's your plan? What is your strategic plan? And in all you do, you always need a plan. So here, in our institution, we normally emphasize critical thinking. We incorporate technology. It's all about technology. Technology is great. Programs are fantastic. Pearson and Cambridge are my best friends. I love them. They're my tools and favorite tools for teaching and learning, but that they don't replace the contribution of an expert, of facilitators, of your teacher, your professor, how you want to call it. So you always incorporate and you expand more. The practice, I think that it could be done through the video, through the interactive activities that you may have. But this interaction is priceless because there's more analyzing and expansion of how you are integrating the skills. Because to participate and put everything on, even when you are writing or where you are just establishing a conversation, you're putting many elements at the same time. You are gathering your grammar, what you learned before. You are incorporating vocabulary. You are also thinking and analyzing what to express, what to incorporate, and then participate, give your opinion. So it's a lot. So congratulations to everyone. So I'm going to ask questions now based on the listening and video activity that we were all watching. So I want to about team member qualities, being a team member. Okay, well, it's one of the gentlemen say develop, okay, being a team member is critical. Nowadays, corporate, in the 21st century, they don't want you to be just me. It's my opinion, it's my achievement. This is what I do. It's pretty much, showing and pretty much sharing the vision and integration. So, but it's hard. It's a hard skill. Question is, why do you think in the gentleman, while he is developing the team, being a team member aspect, he emphasized he needs critical thinkers. In other words, people who analyze situations in a company, in a corporate, in any type of work. Why do you think it's he spent like more than 1 minute, honestly, talking about that section? And that was pretty much at the beginning of the video activity. It was pretty much when they introduced being a team member as part of the being a good communicator. So who can tell me, why do corporates and work jobs in general need critical thinkers and people who can analyze situations? Ideas? Remember, there's no judgment. This is your time. You can tell me. Okay. Let's see. I need a. Why analyzing? It's it's important in a workforce. Not just and it's just a highlight. Who can tell me? All right. Paola, you're the victim. Miss Zapata, are you there? No? All right. Daniela, any idea?
Yes, Katia, could you please repeat me the question?
The question is that being one of the speakers developed the concept of being a team member, and he emphasized the quality of critical thinkers, people who analyze, and he pretty much spent some time. Why do you think he spent some time, talking about it?
I believe it's because if you want, if your goal is to work as a team, then it has to be, depending, of course, like the general goal or the objective that they have in common. It has to be clear that every decision has to be made in accordance to all of the members of the team. So it maybe I propose an idea, but if we analyze it, if we spend the necessary amount of time debating and maybe thinking about the outcomes of this idea, then that's where the importance of critical thinking lies to me. So the video also makes an emphasis on communication. So I believe if you have an active communication and you add the critical thinking factor, then that's a good team.
Yes, excellent, Daniela. Thank you so much. And one last question before the brief last activity that I want to share with you. What about ethics? Ethics, an ethical person. It was pretty much at the end. What is the concept of ethics? Ethics, it was another component for this this conversation. Ethics is pretty much, let's see, Stephanie. Tiffany, are you there? Okay, she's not there. I don't know. She's not listening. Okay. Anyways, Laura, who can tell me, ethics, what is right, what is wrong? The concept of that. And it's also, besides being passionate, besides showing determination, critical thinking, critical thinkers, people who are able to analyze, good teamwork in general, flexibility, all about under the umbrella of transferable skills, that you develop them progressively. But what about ethics? What about ethics, the concept of what you do right or wrong, values? Any comments regarding that? Because they also spend some time talking about that. The impression, right, of the interview. Who can tell me? Anyways, that will be your homework. Maybe you can place the answer on the chat and we'll just give you a little treat for that. Okay, so let me share the screen for one more time. And I'm gonna just do a final activity. Okay. And not specifically. Culture and commerce. Okay. All right, this is a listening practice. Tonight I just selected all about listening, verbal and listening skills. So let me share the screen one more time. All right. It's gonna be not too long. All right. So listen to the whole report. All right. Think about your prediction from preview. How did your prediction help you understand the report? Okay, prediction. It's very important, when you predict. You may predict by appearance, your first impression. You might be right, you might be wrong. All right, so that has to be about, that concept. And of course, formally, because it's under, the business work definition of tonight's theme. Go ahead.
Critics call it a human zoo. Tour companies consider it a tourist attraction. Whichever the case, the long-necked women of Padang have become an important source of money for several small villages on the border of Thailand and Myanmar. Reporter Mike Danforth has this report.
Welcome to Nice Soy. Please buy your ticket here.
Each year, around 10,000 tourists visit 3 small villages along the Thai-Myanmar border to see the famous long-necked women. The attraction is a tradition that requires women to stretch their necks by wearing brass coils. Originally from the Padang tribe, the women and their families came from Myanmar to Thailand in the 1980s to escape poverty and war. Their new lives are very different from their lives as farmers in Myanmar. Now they make a living talking with tourists, posing for pictures, and selling handmade souvenirs. When a Padang girl turns 5, a thick coil of brass is wrapped around her neck. Throughout her life, more coils are added until her neck carries up to 25 brass rings, weighing up to 22 pounds. The coils push up her chin and press down her collarbone, making her neck longer. Pape, a young woman with 20 neck rings, describes her early years of neck stretching.
At first, it was painful, but now it's okay. Now sleeping, eating, working, everything is okay. But I cannot take it off, so this is my life.
It truly is her life. Pape's neck is now so weak that if she takes off the coils, her head will fall forward and she'll stop breathing. The discomfort, Padang women in Thailand continue to wear the coils, even though the tradition has almost disappeared in Myanmar. Why? Because there's money in it. Ma Nong, a graceful woman with 24 neck rings, explains.
In Myanmar, I worked hard growing food. Now I sit and tourists take pictures. In 1 month, I get $70 to $80. It's easy and it's good money for my family. Sometimes I'm tired of tourists always looking, but it's good money.
Each year, as the long-necked women have become more and more popular, the controversy about them has increased. In an outdoor restaurant near Nisoy, tourists discuss whether or not to visit the village. Sandra, a Canadian woman, feels that it's fine to visit.
I don't really see a problem. I mean, this is their tradition. And so if I go, it's like I'm helping them to preserve it. Spending my money is also helping them. You know, they make a living from tourism, so they need it.
Frederick from Germany feels differently.
Actually, I don't see that we are preserving tradition at all. This tradition has died in Myanmar already. These women are just hurting their bodies to entertain us. It's like paying to go see animals in a zoo. It's degrading.
For now, the future of the long-necked women is easy to predict. As long as there are tourists who will pay to see them, they will continue to wrap their daughters' necks. The controversy continues, with one side seeing the villages as examples of how tourism can save dying traditions, and others criticizing it as harmful and degrading to the Padang women.
Okay, class. Pretty much, you know, I'm showing you pretty much the listening. Hopefully you test yourself, you do a self-assessment, hacen una autoevaluación, since the time is in a way running. But pretty much it's all about perceptions, right? We have a person, you know, one speaker pretty much, you know, it was pretty much, you know, the impression of that event, not too personal. Pretty much it was kind of a distracting activity as tourists. On the other hand, we have another speaker who shows passion regarding of these ladies, this tradition in this country, you know, Thailand, you know, of a long neck, you know, ladies doing that. So the first one, it began in Falls. Bring tourists to the village to buy souvenirs and take pictures. Yes, all right, based on the report. Then you have a question says, allows women to earn money for their families. Yes, yes, you know, it pretty much is painful, as one of them said at the very beginning, and of course they got used to the suffering and pain, but that brings them money, so that money is what they need, so they do it, you know, so it's true. The answer will be true. Makes women's necks stronger? No, not really. No, it will be false, and it's said in the listening. Has caused controversy among tourists. Yes, remember, controversy is when they don't agree. Some people agree, some others disagree, and that was what we witnessed by listening to this activity. And finally, it was pretty much based on the listening comprehension question. It was, will continue as long as tourists keep coming? Yes, of course, because, you know, they get some benefit of this, even though it's painful or kind of uncomfortable. Okay, if you were taking the class, okay, this is your platform. Remember, this is just a class, you know, with your professor, your teacher. It could be in face or with me or with one of my faculty members, but you have access to this platform. This is all yours. This is your course. We have access to the gradebook, so we can see how many times you can get an A, a B, and a C. There's no judgment. You can do more than 3-4 times as needed, as long as you what you need to get correct answers. The system itself allows you to see the answers, to reset everything and program everything. All right, so it pretty much is self-learning, guided, you know, guided with a professional. So pretty much, it's pretty much on that ending. It's been really a pleasure to really share this time with you. I'm very grateful that you're honoring me the time to really show you about Elite Language Academy, to show you how actually, you know, we present the courses.